I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding and bring it out here.
Welcome to 10 Minutes. I'm Tony Scott, joined in studio with Pete.
Hi.
Formerly known as Peter Odney. How are you doing?
Formerly, I'm good. You know, we're hitting a little bit of a wall around the holidays. Everything kind of stacks up together. It's a little bit like a car wreck of hockey and family obligations, but once we get over the New Year's hump, I think we'll be okay.
Lumberjack Cup, Dangle Fest, 4 days off.
My mom
Hockey for life,
asking me when I'm coming over.
Founders Cup. Yeah, mix all that in, all of those other stuff
and then
in.
sprinkling all these little holiday things.
Yeah.
Are you coming over to decorate the tree?
Yeah.
No. Are you coming over to wrap presents? No. What are you doing for New Year's? Probably going to be at a game.
Pretty much the story of our life, right?
We've been through it before. We just add an extra shot of espresso.
Come on. We got a lot of hockey to cover. We're doing a combined girls-boys show thanks to our sponsor, Map South Hockey. We're gonna knock it out today. We had a lot of ground to cover. Boys, girls, lots of holiday tournaments. So let's deal with before the holidays, and then we'll go after the holidays. And before the holidays is let's talk about what happened last week in hockey briefly, and then we'll go into what's going to happen in the next 10 days before we come back on 10 minutes for our Founders Cup stuff leading into the new year.
We're ready to knock it out like McCovey over the wall.
Yeah, not many of our audience will know McCovey is.
Willie
That's
McCovey.
Fine. That's fine. All right, here we go. Last week, I broadcasted the St. Cloud Cathedral Alexandria boys game.
I watched that broadcast.
Awesome game. Nate Warner gets the game-winning goal. Prior to that, he kind of banged him to the wall. He'll be out maybe 3 to 6 weeks. If he's lucky, it'll be 3 weeks, and he'll be back in time for the Hermantown Clash. That'll be one of the best games of the year. Hermantown and St. Cloud Cathedral, 1 versus 2. Be a good game. How about you? What you went to a high school game too?
I did go to a high school game. I went to Forest Lake Andover girls. It's got to be my 3rd time seeing each team this season. But I got to witness the upset. Forest Lake over Andover, 1-0. Allie Gaynor with 30 saves. And my special tidbit is that a certain girls high school hockey podcast predicted that if the game came down to goaltending, Forest Lake had the edge, and lo and behold, Forest Lake had the edge in goaltending and pulled out the win.
It didn't do them any good last night against Edina. Which is just weird. They can take down a section opponent, but then they see Edina, and all of a sudden it's like...
I think it has less to do with seeing Edina and being intimidated, maybe more along the lines of Edina just has more team speed.
They do. They are a nice team. Okay, we had the Dangle Fest. So many great memories in just a short amount of time.
A
2-day tournament.
2-day
tournament was pretty cool. Having some in Burnsville, some in Mariucci and Ritter.
Yep.
Here's my takeaway, and we don't get a lot of times at tournaments we don't talk to the players very often, especially the young 10s and 12-year-old players, maybe a little bit MVP this or lots and lots of that. But I had a chance, these 2 or 3 10A girls from Orono, Westaka approached me about teddy bears and about the band. We just got to talking for a couple of minutes. It was awesome. Allie Butler and Beast Mode. Braylon Kohler. They didn't win the title. I was kind of cheering for them. I want them to win, knock off Edina. But, hats off to Lucy Bertram and Edina for winning the 10As. She was outstanding.
Goaltending performance for the ages.
It was good. How about you? What was your takeaway from the Dangle Fest?
I remember broadcasting a game in Rink 2 in Burnsville. We were nearing the end of the period, and I noticed out of the corner of my eye there was a mom and 2 girls who were,
one with the teddy bear,
waving and trying to make eye contact. And I pulled my headphones off between periods. I went down there, and a Burnsville and Burnsville Apple Valley mom and a couple of girls dropped off cookies and milk, which was much appreciated. I ate all 12 cookies in one sitting.
You had all of them?
Yeah.
I only had one of my 12 snickerdoodles. I shared them. It's that time of year, Peter.
It's that time of year where I hoard 12 cookies to myself. Come on.
All right, let's talk about the future. There's so many holiday tournaments. There's a few that we can't even talk about because we just don't have a time on the show.
True.
Okay, let's go. Squirt A extravaganza at Maple Grove. 18 tournament, 5 of them are in our top 10. Who are you picking to win this one? You're going to close your eyes and pick Osseo Maple Grove?
Yeah.
Which one? You can have them both. You can have both crimson and white, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, I'll take both then.
And I'm going to take the number 2 team in the state, Stillwater. They'll win this tournament. I think they're just a head and shoulders above the rest in this field.
I like my odds.
Chaskachan's a good squad. Edina Green's a good squad. There's going to be some really good games. Hopefully we can break away from some of our high school stuff, get up there and see a semifinal or championship.
You're
game.
on your own high schools.
That's right. All right. There's a huge slate of games at the Edina Tradition Invitational or whatever they call it. It's going to be great. There's 6 different tournaments in one building, which is pretty amazing. Who do you got in the Bantam Double A's?
Why is that?
That's your squad. You saw them do.
I'm marching with you, Trojans.
All right. I'm going with Edina. Although I think there's a lot of good teams who can win it, I still think they're the best team.
Edina beat Wayzata in the finals at Spirited Duluth.
I know. That's part of the reason I'm going with it. All right, Bantam A, I'm going with number 1 rated Rogers.
And I'm going to go with hometown Edina Green.
That's a good pick. They beat Osseo Maple Grove a week or so ago. I think that's a team that's top 5 and at home.
I don't like betting against a home team like Edina where their A team simply has some kids that haven't hit their second year of Bantams yet that are AA caliber.
I agree with that. Speaking of AA caliber, we'll go double C's on the Pee Wee AA.
Double Gucci.
We're going Gooch. We're going to try to Gooch the Chaskachans again. We were pretty good doing it at the Lumberjack Cup. We got them.
That speaks to the depth of talent that Chaskachan has. That we're both going to pick the Stormhawks to win in it.
It's just too good. They came back after losing in that game to Osseo Maple Grove and beat Edina the next day and beat Woodbury the day after that. What does that tell you about how good they are?
Short memory.
Short memory. They're deep. Sam Sheets is back. I think they win this tournament.
I like it.
I like it. All right, Pee Wee A. I'm going to go with one of my favorite guys I've met around the state, a guy named Kent Sowers, the head coach for Sartell. I think he's going to take his son KJ and his daughter Naya to the title.
I like it. I like Sartell. Got to see a good bulk of that team last year at the Pee Wee A state tournament. But I'm going to go with Edina Green.
Edina was down last year at Pee Wee A, which is rare. I think they're back up. I got a report from them, from the Roseau people, saying how good they thought Edina's Pee Wee A team was out last year at the last weekend at the Neil Broughton. So, all right, now let's move on to Bantam B, Pee Wee B. Quick shout out to the John Twaddle event in Elk River coming up as well. Great Pee Wee B Bantam B. That's 28 teams, 16 Bantams, no, 16 Pee Wees, 12 Bantams played in Elk River and in Anoka. Shout out to them for putting on a great event. I will be up at that tournament as well.
Kudos to you for 28 teams.
I know, 28 teams is a lot to manage as a tournament organizer. We know that that's tough to put on. All right, who do you like in the Bantam B's back in Edina?
I like Minnetonka.
That's just because you saw him win the Gobbler.
But I'm still going to take the Skippers. I like where the Skippers are.
I do too. I'm going to go with Jeff Sorum's group.
Name dropper.
Well, you could throw John Gary in for the coach at Minnetonka. I'm going to go Sorum's group. I think they're red hot. I think they'll win the tournament. I'm not sure. I think whoever beats Edina White is another great team in the tournament. Will end up winning this tournament. If not, it's going to be Edina White.
I don't disagree. I like Tonka's depth a little bit more.
I'm looking up at the board right now at the Pee Wee B's, and I can't believe you picked against Osseo Maple Grove Black.
I want to spice things up a little bit.
That's about the only reason you would pick against them.
Pretty much.
Just want to change things up. I'm not going against the Tall Trees. Osceola Maple Grove Black continues to be undefeated. They'll win probably their third tournament because they won up in Duluth as well. This will be their third tourney win of the year. It's probably getting old hat.
Yeah, I'm going to take Edina Green. Because winning at Braemar is old hat.
Yeah, I know. All right, so we're going to change gears now, switch it up just a little bit, talk about our favorite Christmas gifts. We've got a pretty good Christmas theme here the last few weeks. Christmas song, Christmas cookie. What do you got for your favorite Christmas present you ever received?
I got a Playmobil pirate ship.
Nice.
One year, and sorry, Mom and Dad, whom I know will both be watching this, I peeked and I found it in your closet, and I knew I was going to get it, but I still loved it. It now lives in my niece and nephew's room. When they stay with my parents, they stay up in that room. It is still being used by all 8 nieces and nephews.
So you're saying that you looked.
Yep.
Okay, and you're saying your parents didn't know you looked until they watched the show?
I don't think they knew.
This is going to get awkward. Christmas is now awkward at the Odney house.
No.
No?
No way.
Okay.
It might be more awkward if they knew that I was eating my Halloween candy, which I wasn't supposed to be doing, or watching Maury Povich.
Yeah, well, that's good. Any more confessions here on 10 Minutes with Tony Scott?
Yeah, sometimes I used to drink chocolate syrup out of the bottle.
This is getting better. This is really good. This is really good. All right, so my favorite Christmas present, this is dating me, was the Mattel Electronics football game. The white one. The white one, right?
Okay. And
everybody wanted it, right?
Next year you got a hammer and a chisel.
My birthday is November 30th. Didn't come, right? And I was starting to get a little bit feisty. I'm like, if I don't get Mattel Electronics, I'm going to be so mad. And I kept telling my sister, I want it. Make sure Mom and Dad know I want it. And then, of course, you know, sometime between November 30th and Christmas, my sister and I, we took over the house and we found it and we played with it even. We put batteries in it, took the batteries out, put them back in the present. And sure enough, by dinner time of Christmas Day, one of us, you know,
broke it,
spilled the beans that we knew the present was coming. My mom said, "You are the worst actor ever when you got it."
What's a Mattel Electronic?
What?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a handheld game. Oh, it was unbelievable. You get to play. You play against your friend. You could play against the computer.
Man, times were tough.
It was great. It was great. All right, moving on. Back to the big boys, big girls, girls high school. There are 3 girls high school tournaments of merit where the top teams cluster in 3 separate tournaments. Which one do you want to do first?
I want to do the one where we started picking teams and then realized that the bracket was from 2014. The Eden Prairie.
Wyzetta was going to win that Eden Prairie tournament. They were my pick to win it. But guess what? They're not in it.
No.
But it is on the Hockey Hub.
Just thoroughly disappointing. But in this Eden Prairie tournament, I'm going to take the hometown Eagles.
And I'm going to take their first round opponent, Egan, which then makes this the championship game. You think it's the championship game too, obviously.
Apparently.
Do you think?
I like EP's chances.
Do you think Egan's the second best team?
I think Maple Grove might be the second.
Maybe.
I like Maple Grove in that tournament.
I don't think Maple Grove's in that tournament.
They're not, are they?
They're in the Edina
down the road at the
next tournament.
Okay, here's part of the problem, though. Aren't they? They're both called the Midwinter something. It's like the Midwinter Classic and the Midwinter.
No, the one is the Walser. The one is the Walser. Edina's the Walser. Not this one.
Dang.
Edina's the Walser. Who do you like in the Walser one?
I like Maple Grove in the Walser one.
Instead of Edina?
Yes.
No.
I'll take Maple Grove.
No.
I think Maple Grove has the edge in goaltending.
You were just telling me about 6 minutes ago. Rewind the tape. 6 minutes ago, you said
based on
they beat Forest Lake last night because they have way too much speed.
Team speed.
Edina's got way too much speed for Maple Grove.
I'm still going to take Maple Grove.
Okay.
I like Lucy Morgan. I like Lucy Morgan to stand on her
Wrong.
head. Please don't do
Won't
that.
be close.
That was funny. That was funny in the first 3 months, and now it's just
All right, last one, Schwann Cup. We can agree that Andover and Blake will be in the finals.
Watch us both be wrong.
No.
Now I'm going to take Andover. I think the
Wrong.
loss to Forest Lake might have been a little bit of a wake-up call. I still think that Andover's got one of the best first lines in the state. I think they ride that top line to the title.
If we were playing for something, this would be like taking candy. I mean, Halloween candy from the U, from a baby. This is easy.
Why would you steal from
Blake-
a baby, though?
Blake-
I've never understood that analogy.
Blake will win this one. They're the better team.
I don't think so.
More depth, more experience, better everything.
You want
Blake's
to
going to win.
depth with
Yeah.
Andover?
Yes. Yeah. Blake's deeper,
Wrong.
more talented. I'm going Blake.
That's fine. That's hard hitting.
All right, we got a lot of boys' high school to cover. We're gonna highlight a few players that are playing in the Hockey for Life.
We're gonna highlight
pick some
16.
We're gonna also pick some upsets in the Hockey for Life and the Tradition Park Plaza
Midwinter.
Classic Midwinter Meltdown in St. Louis Park.
Border Classic.
Border battle. Okay, let's talk about our Hockey for Life event in Prior Lake. That starts on the 27th. We're going to name a player. It doesn't necessarily mean the best player, just a player that we like, and we like for what reason. So let's start off with Edina. I'm going to go Kevin Delaney.
It's a great pick.
Great kid. Got a chance. My son and his son, and Kevin, not Kevin's son, he doesn't have any yet. Kevin played together in the spring, summer. Great kid, great hockey player, great story, a senior making the team, and one of the top point producers on the team. So
Making
I'm
the
going with
most out of his
Kevy
opportunity.
on that one. Go ahead.
I'm going to take Loudon Hogg, a newcomer to Edina this
From
year.
Wyoming.
From Wyoming. He and Kevin were the pair that I interviewed after Edina beat Benilde. And for a sophomore, he was so composed, he was cordial, he was eloquent, he was candid with his comments. He was a good interview. I like Loudon Hogg.
I will stick with goalies on Chaska. I'm going to go with Jack Stark. What I think one of the best goalies in the state as a sophomore. He'll grow into his own this year, and by his junior, senior, he'll be one of the best goalies in the state.
That's fair. I'll take one of the best defensemen in the state. I will take Mike Kester.
One of the best defensemen?
He might be.
He is the best defenseman.
I will take Mike Kester, not only because he's a great defenseman, but nobody fills up water bottles quite like Mike Kester.
No.
I got to see him filling up water bottles during an Elite League game that he was sitting out due to injury, and wow, he can lead a breakout, and he fills the water bottles just to the
Future water boy. He's the water boy. Prior Lake, I'm going Lazarus Cable. This kid, he's listed as 6'2".
That's
I think
a
he's
name
like
to live up
6'9". He's long, he's got speed, he's a smart player, gritty player, kind of the consummate great high school hockey player. I'll go him.
Consummate Prior Lake Laker. I'm going to take Charlie Cashmark, who is a senior making the most of his season.
Good
I think
player.
he's got 5 goals so far this year, and I think I'm going to start calling him Charlie Cash Money.
He is. All right, Stillwater. I'm going to stick behind the pipes. I'm going to go Jesse Brown. I think this is the guy that makes their team tick. If he can make 30, 40 saves, they can beat anybody. Wow. And I'm going to make that bold prediction here later in the segment.
All right.
Watch. There's a little segue, a little tease till later.
You have maybe the key to their hockey team, the key to their soccer team, a winner.
Oh,
Both sides of the athletic spectrum. Spencer Scott, a soccer standout, and a defenseman for
I
the
think you're going to
Stillwater.
go Logan Huber. He was a Mr. Soccer finalist.
Well, you could take several of those hockey players who play on that great soccer team for the Stillwater Ponies, so I'm going to take Spencer Scott.
I like that one. Lakeville North, I'm going to take the transfer Caden Smith with the injury to Shane Griffin. I think he's a big part of their team or their success right now.
I thought you were going to mention Caden Smith's minor injury.
Oh, no, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about
He's
that.
bounced back.
That's right.
I'm going to take Mario Gasparini, a newcomer to the varsity after playing Bantams last year, just a sophomore playing defense after the Panthers lost, Garrett Daly, and they lost a couple of other leaders on that back end. He's played really well. I think he's filled in nicely as a sophomore.
Grandson of former University of North Dakota coaching legend Gino Gasparini. So I didn't know you knew who he was. That's pretty
growing
impressive.
up a North Dakota Sioux fan, if you don't know who Gino Gasparini is,
That's good for you.
You're nuts.
All right, St. Thomas Academy. I'm going to go a little bit off the board. I'm not going to go with your Rob Christie's or your Tommy Wignes I'm going to go Riley O'Brien, one of the triplets. Not very big, but super smart, super poised, Great hockey player.
And his name just screams St. Thomas.
Oh, it screams it.
His family's probably been here since the onset.
Yeah, his mom went to Viz. His uncle is a former player, is a coach of the JV. This is a St. Thomas kid through and through.
I'm going to take another Irishman.
Yeah.
And he's got the best nickname in the state, Morgan Muzzy Donahue.
Yeah.
I like Muzz. I like him a lot. He's a super nice kid, and he's playing well between the pipes for the kid.
Really hard to argue with that name. I mean, that's one of the best. They're one of the best out
Reminds
there.
me of a Muppet.
I'm going to go, one of my favorite kids that I've met over these years is Isaac Hinkemeyer Howe. Straight shooter, hard-nosed, power forward kid. You know what you're going to get every night from him. And he's a pretty sharp kid off the ice as well, and I think he's got a bright future, not just in hockey, but in life.
I think Nolan Westra's got to be one of my favorite players from Moorhead. He's stepping up this year into a role that he didn't really have last year. He's more of a scorer now. I think he's got 9 points so far on the year. He's averaging a point a game. It's a really nice start for Nolan Westra.
All right, last but not least, let's go Eden Prairie. I think you picked Eden Prairie to get upset, don't you? Another tease right there. All right, I'm going to go Drew Holt again. How many years have we seen Drew Holt? I mean, I remember Drew Holt playing in the Scortacular and just lighting it up.
And just kind of wobbling.
I'm like, wow, he's a pretty good player. And then people, this guy, all he does is score goals. That was like his knock. I'm
There's
like,
no place on the ice.
We need a guy who scores goals. And now he makes plays. Now he's a hustler. He's got about 17 different things that he is. So I'm going Drew Holt.
There's nowhere on the ice where Drew Holt will not shoot or score. My favorite player from Eden Prairie, Keegan Langfells. I think he's one of those rocks on the back end. Good size for the Eagles, and I think he could be a key player. I like him a lot.
All right. Now we each have to pick an upset, both in the Hockey for
All
Life.
those nice things I just said about you.
Yeah, here we go. Who are you picking, and what's your one upset you think have? So the upset has to be a ranked team, has to get beat by an unranked team.
I think Lakeville North is going to beat Eden Prairie.
Nice.
Here is why. If Lakeville North can control the tempo and slow the game down, they don't mind taking icings.
They'll play Lakeville North hockey.
They have the talent between the pipes with either Will Johnson or Caleb Meyer. They can rely on their goaltenders a little bit more than the average team. I think if Lakeville North controls the tempo, Lakeville North comes out with
the same game plan they had against Minnetonka, they'll use against Eden Prairie.
They'll slow you down. They're learning how to play without Griffin. That's obviously a huge loss, but I'll take the Panthers.
And I'm going a ranked opponent beating a ranked opponent. Whoa. I think that St. Thomas Academy gets their first big win in a year. They're going to knock off Edina in what will be the biggest game of the Hockey for Life Friday night.
You're a skating purist.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Okay, let's go up 169 north to St. Louis Park to the Park Tavern Classic Shootout Meltdown Sports Authority tournament. Who do you got in your upset there?
I would say Cloquet Esco Carlton over Maple Grove.
They're playing better?
I think Maple Grove is a highly talented team, but I think that Cloquet has a lot of experience in that group, and I think their top line can match up with Maple Grove's. I like the Lumberjacks.
Good segue, because I'm going to take Maple Grove to beat number 1 Minnetonka.
If that happens, I will be throwing a party just out of sheer jubilation for the chaos that will ensue.
It will be great. Can you imagine if that were to happen?
That would be hilarious.
It would be great. Now we're doing a little boom roasted action, Peter.
I'm so ready for this.
I don't think you have one,
No,
right?
I really don't. It's something that we've reiterated before. There are only so many times we could say it. Control your children.
Boom roasted.
Boom. Roasted.
All right. My boom roasted goes out to people who kind of hack people on social media for like missing a comma or misspelling a word, or it's social media, people. It's over. The next day it's over. Don't hang your life on a misspelled word.
Find something to do.
Seriously,
I love
go watch a PGA Tour event and catch someone cheating. That's who these people are, right? Stop it. Boom roasted.
I love when they preface it to like sorry to be there, and then they do it.
They do it. I know. It's that guy. Don't be that guy.
I'm going to hand out a game puck in the spirit of happiness this Christmas season. I've been in a fantasy football league.
Oh God! You are going to do this?
This is our 5th year, and I am in the finals for the 4th time, on my way to being a 3-time champion, one-upping Patrick Waugh. I'm on my way to being a 3-time champion. Here's a game puck to me for cobbling together a lineup that's going to win me a 3rd title.
And at this point of the show, nobody's
3-time
watching.
champion.
Nobody's watching. So no one's even going to watch my game puck because he started talking about fantasy football.
3-time
But in
champion.
case you're watching, anybody, the 3 or 4 people still watching at this point,
Probably not.
thanks for sticking around and living through the moment of Peter's fantasy football bragging. I'm going to go game puck to Mike and the gang at the Burnsville Ice Arena. Unbelievable arena. Great staff. They waited on us hand and foot. Great lighting in the rink. On time, fast Zamboni. You name it, they got it. We can't wait to run another event there. Game puck to Burnsville Ice Arena.
Gang, gang.
Game puck to you too, Peter, for a great year.
Yes.
We're looking forward to a happy holiday season of covering hockey, putting some color on it, and a Merry Christmas as well to you and everybody else out there in the hockey community.
I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.